Good to have you in the house.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I got Mia. Mia, how do you say your last name? Say it for me.
Voutsinas.
Voutsinas.
Yes.
So where does that come from?
It's Greek. My dad.
It's Greek? Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, your resume is so long. I don't even know if I can read. If I read through her resume right now, half the podcast would be done. So I'm just gonna touch on a few things just to introduce you. You are a soccer athlete.
Yeah.
An elite soccer athlete.
Yeah. So,
right?
Yeah.
Pretty much a soccer star to us.
Not yet.
Everybody that talks about you, I appreciate your humility, but everybody else that talks about you talks about your potential of where you're going. Yeah. So it's really in your hands. But I'm going to touch on a few things that you've done because I just feel like bragging. Just want to brag that I was able to get her in the house today, from Bogotá, Colombia.
Yes, I was born there and my parents adopted me when I was a few months old. So.
Fantastic. How old were you exactly?
I was about 6 months.
Yeah. Amazing. And first of all, your favorite athlete is CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
My son's favorite too.
I think it's just because our gameplays are just so similar.
Oh yeah.
I want to score goals. He wants to score goals.
Wow. Well, we'll talk about that soon. Yeah. So let me go into her resumes. Right. This is This My Power podcast. We talk about the behind the scenes of the athlete. Who's the athlete really behind the smoke screens of social media? I want to know who's the person behind the title, behind the stardom, behind the accomplishment. Who are you really? I want to know your journey. I want to know what you're about. But let me just talk a little bit. I have to talk about it finally, about her accomplishment. Golden Shoe Award 2021 to 22, 17 goals in 19 games.
Yeah.
You're not messing about.
No.
You're not mucking about, darling, are you?
No.
Good gosh. Top scorer of the province, AAA level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not playing. Made Team Quebec, 2021 and 2022.
Yeah.
You got a scholarship also?
Yeah. So that year was like a really big year for me.
Oh yeah.
My team won the treble, so we won the Quebec Cup, we won the playoffs, and we were the top team regarding points. So we won the most games. Then I made Team Quebec. Which I wasn't even invited to the year before.
Right.
I wasn't even invited to try out. And then the year after I made the team after 3 rounds of tryouts. Then I won top scorer of the league, of the AAA league, which made me the winner of the Golden Shoe. So it was a really, really big year for me.
Incredible year, which I'm sure was well earned. Right?
Yes.
Respect for that. And you were winner of the Quebec Cup. I think you just mentioned that. But I stopped there because I've got a full page of accomplishments. Like I said, half the podcast will be done if I keep this up. You can find the rest of her accomplishments online. I'm going to put that on the body of the podcast. But let's get to it.
Yes.
I like to start from the beginning, right? I want to know your journey because, I always say this, my father used to say when I was younger, if you can appreciate where you're coming from, you have a better understanding of where you're going in life, right?
Yes.
So I want to know where you're from. What's your story?
I've always been an athlete.
Okay.
That's always been like a part of my life. I was a national level gymnast.
Yes.
I was like 10, 12 years old and I was competing at the national level. At that time, it was very gymnastic, very soccer. I'm juggling both, so in the summer I do gymnastics and soccer, and then during the winter and the rest of the year was like full-on gymnastics. I was 11 years old doing 25 hours of gymnastics a week plus some 4 or 5 hours of soccer, and it was a lot. I was a kid, and then I got injured, fractured C4 in my back, and so I was like, I was 12 years old. Risk to be paralyzed, and I was like, I'm not. I don't want to risk my soccer career, because the thing is that gymnastics is a sport where you get better when you're young, and then the older you get, the harder it gets, and soccer is the opposite. Okay. So the older you get, the more opportunities you start getting.
Right. And
so I didn't want to ruin that for me. So I stopped doing gymnastics and really gave it all into soccer, and now I'm at a prep school, and I got a scholarship for a prep school, and I'm talking to a few colleges for D1 colleges for college.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You were just telling me a little bit about your beginning, and you already mentioned some challenges that you had.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get right to it, right? So first of all, the mindset that it took for you to be a gymnast. had to be under some
It's
strictest of disciplines, right?
Yeah, I mean, they teach you very young to take criticism and not view it as punishment and not view it as being mean. If your coach tells you in a loud voice or in a screaming voice to point your toes, you point your toes and you don't mind how they say it. And I think that's something that really helps, because I've always been an athlete that I don't really perform well when my coach is telling me all good things and you're amazing, you're doing this. I need someone to tell me, what are you doing? Why aren't you tackling?
Right.
Why didn't you shoot there? I need somebody who's gonna tell me where I need to improve in order to advance. And
so you would say that you like to have someone in your corner that is holding you accountable to the standard that you already set for yourself?
Yeah, because sometimes you get caught up. After that year, it was very easy to get caught up on, I won this, I got this, I did this, and I get caught up in that. That's something that I still have to work on.
Caught up in your own hype.
Yeah, really, literally. And having someone in your corner is crucial. Having a coach. Me personally, it's my father. My father was always making sure that I stay humble and that I know my place, kind of. So it's really.
Is that one that brings you back down to
Yes, he's like, come here, you did this wrong, let's be honest.
And what would you say the mother's role? What was your mother's role?
My mother's role, I think she was very nurturing.
Okay.
I think it's true mother. I mean, when my father maybe would push a little too far, she would just there. She'd be like, it's okay. I mean, he's right on certain things, but maybe the way he says it sometimes is not the best, but it's just how I work.
Right.
And he knows it. And I love him for that, and I love my mom for what she does as well.
They all play different roles.
Exactly.
Would you say, since we're on that topic, let's get to it, but would you say that they were both inspiring?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though they had different roles that they played?
For sure. I mean, a child is nothing without their parents. It's simple as that. No matter what you do, you could be a pianist, you can be a gymnast, you could be a soccer player, you could be a painter. Most children are who they are because of their parents, and who am I to say otherwise? Right.
But I have to push back on that and say, but some kids find their parents overbearing.
Yes, that's a true thing.
Let's have an honest conversation. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
Right. Some kids find that they're talented and they lose their passion for their sport because their mom or their father is just a little too much. They forget about why the kid is doing the sport. It's not their sport. It's not their time.
Yeah.
It's the kid's time. But that wasn't your experience, or was it?
No, it was not my experience, and I think that parents who are overbearing, it always comes from the right place. It always comes from wanting their kids to do better, and oftentimes when kids address their parents and address how they're feeling, their parents will relax and back off, or they'll hear their kids out, and I think that that's super important. It was not my experience. Like I said before, I need somebody to bring me back down and to tell me what I need to do better and work harder, because or else I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's chill.
Perhaps the parents that are being criticized for that, perhaps that's what they're trying to do.
That is what they're trying to do, and I mean, not every kid is like me, right?
Yeah.
Not every kid is able to be screamed at and take it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? A lot of kids will push back on that and scream back, or will be like, "Why are you being mean?" And that's a very okay thing too. Sometimes different coaching style, different way to work. Some kids like to work on their own and follow their dreams on their own, and some kids need someone in their corner.
But as a parent, being a parent myself, you're not there.
Yeah, no.
Wouldn't you say it would have been appreciated by the young athlete that the parent tailor their style of parenting that athlete based on the personality of the athlete?
Yeah.
Not all kids are like you. You just said that.
Yeah. I think that in my case, my father was very involved in my sports, and that's not something that every parents are like. It's not like that at all.
Great distinction.
A lot of parents just want to stick to the parenting side and leave the coaching or the pushing to the coaches to do.
Right.
And I think that that's also a very good thing. I come from something where it's father and coach and mentor, all of it kind of in one person, right?
Right. So he was in a dogfight with you.
Yeah.
The discipline, the process, the hurt, the pain, the joy.
Yeah.
He was invested in that regard.
And for some other kids, their parents aren't as involved in their sport, and that's totally okay as well.
Let's go back even more. Bogotá, Colombia.
Yes.
I just like saying it. I don't even say it well enough. Bogotá, Colombia. Do you know anything about Colombia? Have you been there?
I haven't been back since my birth. I actually don't know much about it. I just know that it was a beautiful place when my parents were there.
Right.
I have a bunch of, like, you know, those pictures they take. I have a bunch of those as me as a baby at a park. The flowers there are beautiful and stuff, but I really don't. I want to go back.
You want to go back
to really feel where I'm from and know where I've come from.
Okay, so the values that you may have gotten from your parents, right? How have they helped you grow as an athlete?
I think that the first thing is not to give up. That's just like the first thing that I know is that when you want something, you just go get it. And you don't stop until you have it. And I mean, there's the proof with what happened. The year 2020, 2021, it was a horrible year for me. Didn't even make the tryouts for South Quebec. Didn't win. I was in top 5, top 10 scorers. Our team didn't do very well either.
Right.
It was just like a really rough year, and a few girls on my team got invited for the tryouts, and I didn't. And it was just like, you know what? It was kind of a wake-up call for me because those are important years.
You said something very important there, and I have to touch it. When you didn't get called back, or you got caught, you saw it as a wake-up call. Some athletes would see it as a break-up call.
No.
Like, this is time where I'm done.
Yeah.
What kind of a mindset did you have at the time in order for you to want to fight back?
I'd tell you that honestly, at first it was just like kind of a slap in the face, very much so, and it's a hard pill to swallow because I have a big ego, and I don't like to not win. I don't like to not be the one chosen for. So
you felt like you earned the right to be selected?
At that time, yes.
Yes.
But when I look back, I'm like, this was mediocre performance.
Your 100% wasn't enough.
I wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
But I was not even close to being the best and being as good as I could have been.
Yeah. So that experience, though.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, fired you up.
Oh yeah.
So what you thought was your best at the time, you raised the bar on that.
Yeah.
You know, I've said it often, I've said it in one of my podcasts before, that success does not lower standards for you, or excellence doesn't lower standards for you. You raise your standards for excellence.
Yeah.
So what you did was raise your standards to meet what they said was needed for excellence.
Yeah, 100%. And then, I mean, that from after that postseason, so it's basically just the whole winter.
Yeah.
I've never been in that good of a shape in my life. It was the best shape that I was on, and now I'm not as good. It was better shape, but before that, I've never been in that good of shape.
Well, why? Why couldn't you have been in that shape before? What is it?
I think that where it's just you're thinking and you're like, wow, like, oh, I gotta do all that. I did like it's about 5 hours a week, and then you had another 3 hours of practice at night with your club, and it was just like you kind of just roll with it and get into a comfortable routine. And also after that season, my dad told me, he was like, what do you do more? He asked me, he was like, what do you do more?
After the bad season?
Yeah. He was like, what do you do more? Because I was like, why didn't I get it? And he's like, what do you do more?
What do you do more?
What do I do more? I go on my team. This is the exact same thing as I did. She didn't get invited. Why would I? He's like, what do you do more? You go for a run. You go to the field when it's empty. You go to the gym. I was like, no.
So you took your bad experience and used it as a fuel.
Yeah.
To get better.
Yeah. And I took it as a wake-up call. He's like, what do you do more? And I'm like, I don't do anything more. And I'm like, okay, then what can I do more? And then I got a membership to the gym with him, and I would go 4 times a week. Then I'd have my 2-hour-long practices, and then I would go for runs. And then when spring came around, I went 2 to 3 times a week just to the field alone by myself. And then season came around, and it just like, all that work was just like, it just paid off so hard.
Right?
It just paid off.
How did that feel when you actually finally
I think that I was very not aware of it at first. Yeah, I was trying to stay as far away as I could from the results, from the this, from the that, because I knew that it would make my head grow a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, my dad kept tabs on all the scores and who scored this and who scored that.
Right.
He made sure that I stayed on top, and if I didn't, then he would tell me, he's like, you gotta go. But I tried to stay away from the stats.
So do you think your father during that process was trying to keep your feet on the ground?
I think
keep your head locked in.
He knew that season was gonna be a big one for me, because he saw how hard I worked, and he was like, I'm not gonna let you doze off.
Yeah. For
you to ruin all the hard work that you did. Yeah. And so I didn't. I just kept scoring. As simple as that. I just kept scoring every game. I managed.
You put in the work and the results came flowing in.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with self-doubt?
Oof, that was a big one. That was a very big one. I went to see a sports therapist.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That first season, rough season I was talking to you about. After that, I went to see a sports therapist. It just wasn't. I just couldn't score. It was not happening.
Right.
And then I went to see that guy, and I think it was helpful in the sense that he was like, "What if you miss?" He was like, "What if you miss?" Which was the worst part, because as a striker, if you're in front of the net, you shoot, you score. That's your job.
Right.
And if you don't score, then why do you on the field? And so he was like, "What if you miss?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll get another chance." And then he was like, "Exactly. So why are you freaking out when you get in front of the net?" And I was like, "I don't want to miss."
Right.
And he was like, "It's okay to miss." And I think
that's okay to miss.
I think that was a big one, because now I'm like, okay, if I shoot, I miss, I'll get it back, right?
So he gave you permission to grow.
Yeah.
Because if you miss, you fail, you learn, you grow.
Exactly.
Would you say that's the way
I think that I didn't think of it like that before. I just think of it like it's okay to not get it.
Yeah.
It's okay to not get it.
And what does that do for you? It's okay to not get it. Does that give you a sense of freedom to be yourself now?
After that, yeah. Because before, especially because I knew that the season was coming to an end, and I was just freaking out. I was like, I need to score to bring my stats up. And I think that that's where my downfall started. It was just not happening.
So the more you locked in,
the more I was like, I gotta go.
The less you performed.
The less I performed. It was horrible. It was really bad. And that's one thing, as a striker, you need to be level-headed. You can't be freaking out when you have the ball in front of the net, because you're not going to score it. The goalie's going to be alone in the net, you're going to shoot right on him.
Isn't that akin to life, though? In reality, you have to be level-headed.
Yeah.
So do you find that mindset transcends your sport? Do you use that in life in general?
Yeah, I think that every single thing that I've learned through my sport, passionate, teamwork, understanding, is you could apply that to anything.
Wow. What were you studying? You're in school, right?
Yes, now I'm in school. So I was at a high school here, and then that year after I had that really good year, then there was a showcase, which is basically like a bunch of prep school, universities, all of that. I was too young for universities at that point, but a few prep schools wanted me, and I ended up choosing North Mount Herman, which is
where is that?
About an hour from Boston. It's an amazing facilities.
Boston.
Yeah.
How'd you like Boston?
I really did like Boston. I mean, we're really rural.
Right.
We're in the forest and the breeze, and we're on the Connecticut River as well. It's a really nice place to be.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And it's a boarding school, so I live there pretty much.
So what are you studying for?
So it's basically just
what are you studying? I mean to ask.
Yeah, no, it's
what are you studying for?
No, it's basically just a high school. So we got all our basic classes, science, math.
I guess another way to rephrase that is, what would you like to be in terms of your academics?
I want to study finance, and I want to be a stockbroker.
Oh, you want to be a stockbroker?
Yeah.
Fantastic, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to this, because I'm loving your mindset in terms of your relationship with how you face disappointment. I like that. It seems like you're pre-wired to fight back.
Yeah.
Right? Sure. And I would say a lot of that has to do with also your support system that you have. Your father, your mother. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So with that mindset, being able to fight back, have you ever found yourself with your back on the floor not knowing what to do next?
Yeah, 100%. So the season before I left for NMH, so basically the 2023 season, it was a little bit difficult, because it it was a decent start. I mean, I ended pretty decently with 9 goals in 12 games.
Yes.
There was about 3 games left, and that what really wasn't fun with that game is that the year before we won everything.
Right.
But it doesn't sum up to anything, and the 15 and 17 is when you go to Canada, the national championship. And so when we were 15, my bad season, never gonna happen. But when we were, and there was COVID as well, so that didn't happen.
Right.
But when I was 17, that was the season. And so we thought we would just go back and do the same thing. And that is not what happened. We would tie games, stupid games. We would lose 2-1 last minute. It was just not happening, and we were really disappointed.
You know what that reminds me of though is it's kind of like sales at work in business, right?
Yeah.
Where you're as good as what you did today, not yesterday, not the day before. Would you find that's the same?
It's the exact same thing. I think that you rely a lot on what you did in the past. You try to navigate through your experience and be like, oh, I've seen this type of situation before, and try to refer back to your past, but you cannot expect the same outcome because people get better, people get stronger, people
meet your opposition,
especially when you're the team to beat.
Yes.
Right. I want to just refer to the AFCON. The Senegalese won the African Cup last time.
Yeah.
This time they're out in the 8th in the round of 18, round of 16, I think. Wiped out. It's hard to be the winner twice. It's very hard to be the winner twice, and I think that, especially when you're the one to beat, everybody's like, I just want to beat them. Whoever, I don't even care if I win. I want to beat them. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
So I think that we came into the season just thinking we were just gonna do the same thing and it's gonna be fine, and we got that's not what happened. Yeah, very quickly. I speak for my team's performance. Everybody gave what they had to give. And not everybody was aware that not working as hard was not going to happen. I speak for myself. I worked as hard.
No days off.
I worked very hard, but I don't think that was the case for everybody, and that's okay too. You know,
right?
Not everybody just did the same thing, right? The other teams, they were ready, man.
They came to fight. They came to fight.
They
weren't giving you guys the win.
No.
So how do you feel being in a male-dominated sport, and you guys are going leaps and bounds as the female counterparts in soccer? So do you feel like the sport is growing?
Yes, 100%. I feel like at this point in time...
In Canada, I mean.
Yeah. I feel like this point in time, soccer in Canada is very big for women. We had our women's team win the Olympics.
Yes.
So, and we had, I think, in the World Cup, they were third? I'm not sure. But, I mean, we love our women's soccer here.
Right.
Yeah. So, I think that there's not a big difference into the sport. I mean, opportunity-wise, it's different because there are guys seen established everywhere.
Of course.
So that's a real thing. But they have done like a lot of things. Like they have a women's FC Montreal team now.
Yes.
Under 17. They don't have a women's team like to play against teams from the States, but they do have a 17 team and a 19 team, U19, U17 team. Like they're starting to grow something, and they're hoping by 2026, I think, to have a function, like to integrate women's teams into their own MLS. And so I don't think that it used to be very discriminatory. Not anymore. I don't think so. No.
So, but if there was any progress that you would like to see happen sooner than later?
Oh, definitely. You know how the men have, so they have MLS teams, right? And they have their 17, 19, they have their 19, 17, 15 team.
Sure.
And I'd like to see a women's side to each, to MLS teams, right?
Okay.
I think that they do it in Europe.
Yeah.
Premier League. So Manchester City has a men's and a women's side.
And you would like to see that?
And I would like to see that here. I think that that's the next step for us.
Do you envision yourself going to play in Europe at any point?
Yeah, I want to. And it's a very difficult place to like kind of integrate because they usually just take from their 17 team, their 19 team, and then they just bring them up, right? And so it's another challenge.
I have a question for you, as I think some parents might want to hear this too, and I often ask this: what is your relationship with social media as an athlete?
honestly, I'm just a regular kid, right? I use social media avidly, but I also use it to follow colleges, and I watch a lot of soccer on my phone or on the go, and I post my highlights on there. And so like when like school teams like follow my account, they can go see my highlights, and so they could look as well. Like I don't only use it to watch TikTok.
So it's very important for parents to know that there are positive sides to the young athletes using social media. And some athletes may need to listen and learn the positive ways in which to use it. Do you find that the scouts and recruiters from colleges or high schools, do they check you guys out on social media?
I think social media is where they're gonna find links to different things, right?
It's a pathway.
Yeah, and also for coaches themselves. I had the John Abbott head coach contact me. I had it's basically just a training place, pretty much. Contact me, asking me if I wanted to train during the winter with them, stuff like that. Like they use it as well too to try to find athletes and to see. So if you're a soccer player, a really good one, and you don't post nothing about your soccer, like you're not gonna get
out of sight,
anything.
out of mind.
Yeah, exactly, out of sight, out of mind. You're not gonna get anything, and what you're gonna attract is not what you want to attract. And so just broadcast who you are, show them that you're a great soccer player, show them your achievements, be proud of who you are. And a lot of people have two accounts. They have their personal account and they have their sport account.
Great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, okay.
So their private account, they're gonna have it private and everything, but their sport account, they're gonna have it public, and they're gonna have their links to their highlights, and they're gonna show like a lot of different things, and I think that's a very good part of social media.
Being that you're such an elite athlete and your schedule's got to be crazy, it was hard enough for me to get you on the podcast. Seriously. How do you manage to have a balanced life? Where is there such a thing at your age where you have to balance it, or it's all sports?
I think that honestly, like my life right now just is like school, gym, soccer. Like it's just not like, and I'm okay with that. I think that I'm like 17 years old, like what am I going to do? Like, where am I going to go?
That's right.
I receive a scholarship to perform at school and perform on the field. What else would I be doing?
Is your social life within that context of school and sports too? So your friends are either teammates or, so it makes it easier for you, doesn't it?
I'd say that the years before, when I was at school here, I'd say that academically it's a lot less strict and people just really don't care.
Right.
Like respectfully, I think that a lot of kids that I was with, they don't mind too much about their grades. They just like want to go through it.
But can you possibly get where you're going without good grades?
No. I mean, if you're like literally Lionel Messi, maybe, right?
But even then, isn't the grades? Because I know athletes that are incredibly talented at their sport, but their grades are poor, and they can't even get to where they can showcase their talent because their academics isn't good enough.
I'll give you an example. The showcase that I went when I got my scholarship, I heard some coaches talking because I was a volunteer there after because I know the guy.
Right.
And so I heard some coaches from prep schools talking about guys. This guy was a literal superstar on the field. Like there's no questions asked. He was one of the best players on the field. The guy took one look at his GPA and was like, I can't have that at my school. Like, because you can't. These schools are very expensive, and you cannot justify giving a full scholarship to someone who can't bring in the grades, right? Who literally brings down the class GPA. So grades are important, very, very important. Unless you go play pro, like really, really pro, they won't really care about your grades. But if you want to play in college and if you want to play D1 and at big schools, if you want to go to Ivy Leagues and play D1, your grades are gonna matter no matter what.
You can't get around it.
No, you can't.
I think it's important for kids to know that. And even with the grade,
TV, no.
Right.
That's not what I mean. When I say talent, I mean someone who's very capable of doing it, but because they work.
Okay, so they have, like I always say that to my kids, your talent may get you to the door, but your work ethic will get you through that door.
100%.
Your talent might get you noticed, but what are they going to notice? Are you going to notice your work ethic, your discipline, your consistency, your passion, your drive? Or are they going to notice someone that's sitting and hoping their talent gets them to?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's another reason why Cristiano Ronaldo is my favorite player.
Tell me why he's your favorite player.
Because he's such a hard worker. Like, he's the first one and the last one off the field. It's just, there's no... Everybody who's been on a team with him says how hard of a worker he is. And yeah, he might be snub and he might have some things that he does aren't the best, right? Because he really
holds himself to such a high standard.
Yeah. But this man, he never stops.
Right.
He just does not stop. He doesn't drink alcohol like his teammates does because it's terrible for you as an athlete. He makes sure to make time for his family. He's always training. He's always taking ice baths. He's always doing something to maintain or make himself better.
So how do you maintain?
I mean, you work out, you eat right, you sleep, you do your work, and you make sure that you can move forward in that.
So if you have an important game coming up, what's your mindset in preparing for that game? Like, I want to know what your habits would be like a week before a big game.
I don't take myself very seriously. I've learned that when I try to be too focused and too much, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
It just doesn't work. So
everybody's different.
Yeah, I'm not that person that's gonna be quiet in their corner and not talk when I like the preparation of a game. I'm very relaxed and very open-minded and just like I'm relaxed and I'm listening to music in the locker room and I'm just having fun. I'm not like a week before a game. I'm not thinking about the game.
Okay, when do you start thinking about the game?
When I'm in the locker room before the game.
Right then.
Yeah.
Everything comes in.
Yeah.
Well, you prepared before the locker room time, though. You put your work ethic in.
Yeah.
On the field.
Preparation,
all that.
You should always be. I'm always ready for a game, right? But I don't take myself very seriously, and I play with very light feet and light touch. I don't. Like, you can tell when someone plays stiff and when they play, when they look like they have fun.
That's right.
And that's the most important part for me, is just to have fun.
I was just about to ask, how important is fun for you?
Yes, no, it's the most important thing, because when you're not having fun, I don't play good. It's simple. When we start losing, I start losing my little fun, and then I go score a goal, and then I'm back at it. I'm back to be okay. But no, I know.
How long does it take you to reset during a game when things are not going your way?
2 seconds. Like 2 seconds.
Talk me through that. What's your mindset through that?
You cannot. I'm a striker, right?
Yeah.
My brother is a goalie. So let's say he loses a game 2-0. And he got 20 shots, right? Even if he saved all those shots, it's still a 0-0. And that's where my mindset is. I cannot blame the goalie, the defenders, the this, the that, if I don't do my part either. And it's simple. It's a mistake. If I make a mistake and I shoot beside the net, no one cares. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But if the goalie makes a mistake, it's a goal.
It's a goal.
So it takes me 2 seconds.
The pressure is different, so you make it relative, right?
Yeah. It takes me 2 seconds to get over. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's a mistake. And you just have to get back into it and go score. Go make it up for us.
Fantastic. So what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to playing in college. Yeah. I want to play in college. I want to play in a decent D1, and hopefully want to play pro. I want to have my diploma before I go play pro, just in case and nothing, just in case I don't want to leave mid-studies and then I'm 25 years old, I have to go back to school. No thanks.
So you're already thinking ahead, but in a way that you have a contingency plan in case things do not work out.
Of course, and that's the first thing. You want to get I know somebody on one of the teams that I played for. She's going to play pro in Ireland, but she finished her degree first. She could have gone 2 years ago. And she said, I want to finish my degree first. And I think that's super important.
That's amazing.
You tore your ACLs. I mean, knock on wood. ACLs have been everywhere. Everybody's torn their ACLs, especially girls. And so, what do? For a year, you just stay home and you do nothing. Oh, you have your job. You can still manage yourself. You're 20, 21, 22 years old. Like, you're not gonna live at your parents' house unless you're in a situation where you have to. But you want to be able to take care of yourself.
You have a very realistic approach to life, whether it's in sports or not, right?
Yeah.
What's your relationship with your coach?
I've always had a really decent relationship with coaches. How do I say this? Like, I don't do well when a coach, like I said it before, I don't do well when a coach is always really bubbly and happy and it's just like, oh, you can do it. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm not somebody who works, because to me it seems like you're not frustrated that we're losing. Like, you're not like,
you're not invested.
Yeah, you're not invested, you're not passionate about the game.
Right.
That's what it gives off to me. That's probably not what the case, but the coaches are aware that not everybody takes criticism properly. So I need someone who's gonna be realistic and be like, what do you guys do? Like, can we please get into it? Can we please do this? Like, what is going on right now? I need somebody who's realistic, and that's when I have the best relationship with coaches. I was a regional gymnast with a coach. I was like, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. And the second I had a coach that was like this, I was a national gymnast, and I was a national gymnast for a few years. And it was only worked with her. There was something about her that she was really, really strict and really, really tight, and it just worked for me.
So you've been a champion in pretty much every sport.
I don't want to say champion, but I mean.
But clearly you have a champion's mindset.
Yeah. When I'm in a sport, I don't want to be mediocre.
Right.
That makes sense. I can't. This doesn't work for me.
Do you find that the work required to be at a high level and the work that people showcase at a mediocre level, what is the difference? Is it just a mindset, or is it a work ethic or a mindset? Because some people at mid-level will tell you to give it 100%.
Exactly.
Kind of like you thought you were giving 100% until you got caught.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, let me show you what 100% really look like from here.
What I want to say is that a lot of times you have players that are mediocre and work extremely hard, but it's just not their sport.
Right.
And I think that's something to preface, because a lot of people are really, really hard and they're like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
And someone who really, really, really wants it will keep going until they get there. Sometimes it's just not your sport, and that's okay too. But someone who's at a really, really high level and someone who's at a mediocre level, it's just a work ethic. And I think that physicality is a very important part too. Like, it's rarely you're gonna see a sprinter that's 5 foot.
Right.
See what I mean? When you're competing with sprinters that are 5'9", 5'10".
With a lot of muscle power.
Yes, you see, you can do it, right? Messi's 5'7", 5'6". He's tiny.
Yes.
But Ronaldo was blessed with a physicality of 6'2" and pure muscle.
With a work ethic to match
it. A work ethic to match it. So physicality is important as well. Sometimes you pick a sport that's not for you. You can't be 5'2" and want to play in the NBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what would your advice be to young girls that find themselves in that situation where they have a lot of talent, but they don't have the physical prowess to be able to take that talent? Or there's a precedent that says, or there's, historically it shows that people of that body type
or type,
don't perform well. But when you tell them to quit, or you tell them to give, because there's always that outlier, right? There's always that player that everybody would not expect to do well because of the natural limitations, and they surpass all expectations, right?
Yeah, and oftentimes you have, if you're not typically the body type or the physicality, if you're that 5 foot sprinter, you gotta work 3 times as hard.
That's right.
You cannot. What do you do more?
Yeah, what do you do more?
You go back to that.
I like that.
You go back to that. You say, what do you do more? Because when you have to compensate for things, I mean, it's not your fault that you're 5 foot. What do you want to do? What are you gonna do to make yourself as good as they are? And if they work 3 hours extra than everybody else, you gotta work 6 hours extra than everybody else. That's right. It's just the way it is.
You do whatever it takes.
Yeah, and if if it's something you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And I have to preface that you're not gonna work 6 hours extra if you're not passionate about something. Yeah, like it's.
You're incredible. Tell me a fun fact about you. Fun fact.
A fun
I know
fact.
you like fun. You like to have fun.
I'm like a die-hard Grey's Anatomy fan. Like the TV show.
Go figure.
I would watch it like it's like my 3rd time watching it right now. Like I just love it. It's like 19 seasons of doctors in a hospital, and I just can't get enough. Like,
what is it about you? What is it about it?
I think that it's just like the relationship between the two like best friends from because I can see myself with me and my best friend. We're like, very similar to the characters. I think I love that part, and like I cry every single time. Like I've seen this season 3 times. Like I know exactly when everything is gonna happen. When a character dies, when a character leaves, like I cry. Like it's just I don't know. I think it was made so that you're so invested in the series that you're like, why is this happening right now?
And we got a fun fact out of you, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to leave something though, because I just want to know, what message would you leave for the young girls out there that are watching this and thinking to themselves, wow, look what she's accomplished in spite of the challenges that you faced, but they're facing challenges themselves. Perhaps it's being left out, left on the bench, you know, whatever challenges they're facing. What would your advice be to those young girls watching right now?
To be aware of themselves.
To be aware of themselves.
Why? Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why, and if really you do not see a reason why, then you're not looking deep enough.
Right. So
you're not looking deep enough.
If you're 100% really.
It's always gonna be revolving back to you. You're doing something wrong, and if you're doing something wrong, it's better to know what it is.
Yes.
And to fix it, because no one else is gonna fix it for you.
You said something else earlier that I really like. You said buckle up.
I said buck up. Yeah, I said buck up and get over it. That's what I said word for word. And I think that it's I think that there's nothing. It's really that. It's just suck it up and do it quickly.
Yeah.
Because it took me time. I was just questioning everybody else but myself. And I think that that's the best advice that I could tell you before you start asking other people why. Look at yourself and ask yourself why.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers.
Mind power.